So DeSantis strategy: ignore Donald Trump. How long will that work?
I mean, it can't go that much longer. I mean, it's getting crunch time. It's under 2 years.
Well, until they both step into a real ring in South Carolina or one of the primary states, I think he can do that until they actually step into the ring.
By the way, can we just put something to bed for once and for all officially here on the PBD podcast? What episode number is this?
224.
Can we just put this to bed? Ron DeSantis is running for president in 2024. Can we stop with the charades? You're the leading candidate for presidency of the United States. The whole charade of like, well, I'm committed to Florida. We'll see how it goes. We're past that. When you've passed Donald Trump and the current president of the United States in the polling for the likely favorite, you're running for president.
So here's my question, Adam.
I'm having trouble understanding. Can you unpack that a little bit?
I'm
What do
saying
you
that
mean?
Ron DeSantis is running for president. Enough with the games.
And I forgot which interview, Pat, that I saw where somebody was like going off what you just said. Like he cannot. This is that. You know that moment in your life. This is it. He can't have a meeting and be like, all right, Trump, you be the president. They effed you over.
Now
I'll be the vice
is the
president.
time.
Right now this is his presidency. That
Is the strategy working? I mean, the question is the following, guys. Let me go back to the question.
100% the
Is
strategy
the strategy
working.
of ignoring Donald Trump? Here's the question. Let's
Go ahead.
stick to the question.
Go ahead.
Strategy. How long will it take for you to ignore until you have to attack?
I think
That's the
one more
question.
year. I think one more year, and he's gonna. The gloves are coming off
I gave my answer. As soon as they both have to be in a primary and they have to say something.
to each other.
There's no
I say 1 year, Pat. 1 year, then it's gonna be bow.
What do you think he's going to say? What is the shot? What's the first shot fired?
From who?
Like the moment Kamala went after Biden in the debate. Everybody was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, racist.
Or the moment.
I'm right here.
or-
I'm right here.
or
I'm
the
here.
moment.
That's hilarious.
Or the moment who went after Kamala with the
Our
was
girl
it-
Tulsi
Tulsi
Gabbard.
Tulsi
Ruined
Gabbard.
her.
The moment Tulsi went after
Her campaign was over that day.
right there.
when she went after her.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
you're done. Andrew Wang's off. You're off. Next week, 8 people.
Yeah. Okay. So how? And what is he going to attack? What is
Trump?
he going to attack?
But DeSantis?
Yeah. What is going to?
I got it.
Tell me.
I mean, he has to thread this needle because he needs this. He needs MAGA country in his corner, but he also has distinguished himself. It's kind of like the conversation we just had about the CEO board seat guy. It says, Trump, respect. Thank you for your service. You've done amazing jobs. At the same time, you've created this climate in this country where Americans at each other's throat. I want to be the person that unifies America. Thank you for everything you've done, your policies, everything you stand for. Amazing. I'm with you in your corner. But America is looking for something new and something fresh. And I think I can be that person. So MAGA, I know you're out there. I know you love Donald Trump. I'm with you. I'm going to take on the leftists and the wokists. I'm going to be there for you.
Dude, that's like the
I'm
last
telling
thing
you.
he's going to say.
What do you mean?
Dude,
let's-
what happened to you? What did you have for breakfast today? Like, you got to stop eating cereal. I learned through this new book Jen is
Well,
reading.
Jen read that.
Cereal is sugar.
Tell me why
all
I'm
sugar.
wrong here, because I actually think I'm spot on.
Yeah.
Adam, those eggs were bad.
He has to. He
What do you
has
think-
to. He has to walk a tightrope between balancing MAGA, but also winning a general population.
What do you think, Sabat? What do you think?
I think he has to do counter. So if I'm sitting with him, with DeSantis, with Ron DeSantis, I'm sitting there saying, instead of figuring out what you're going to say, here's the 40 things that Trump's going to say. How are you going to counter, and which ones are worthy of counter, which ones you deflect and you just move on with, okay? So what is one thing 100% Trump is going to say to DeSantis? Here's one thing he's going to say. If I don't come and give that endorsement, he barely won governorship. Without me, he would never be governor right now. Florida would have a Democratic. So you're welcome, Florida.
Wow,
He's going to say that. Okay.
You would have lost to Andrew Gillum.
And by the way,
That's true.
just
It's
so you
correct.
know,
it's historically
Trump's
correct.
right.
Yep.
100%.
He's right. Okay. So
that was 2016, though, meaning it's a long time ago. It's going to be 8 years removed.
you could be right 100 years ago. What's right is not about
is right.
history. Right is right. Okay.
Hang on, keep
Trump
going.
is right.
Keep going.
So he's going to say that. And what's DeSantis' answer to that? He has to say, I'm very grateful that you came out. You're right. It was right. So, yes, this is DeSantis' right rebuttal. Me winning the first election, you had a lot to do with it. But me going from 34,000 victory to 1.5 million, that's me, not you.
100%.
Okay, so that's powerful. So that's the powerful that he's got to go back and forth.
I stood up to COVID. I responded to the
and
disaster.
guess what the voter's going to say? Even MAGA, because everything's about he needs to win the MAGA vote. He's not. He already has the Republican and his vote, but the MAGA vote, they're going to say he's kind of right. You know what I'm saying?
He is kind of right. He stood up to COVID. He stood up to Disney. He stood up to education. He responded to these disasters. He kind of did that.
Yeah. Well, listen, everything you're doing is pretty much the policies that I would have done.
Yeah, for sure.
He's just doing policies. So he's kind of like he's mimicking and copying everything I did. You know, it's okay. So he's going to say, well, I give credit to great policies. These policies, those policies, these policies, you were right. They were great policies. What we did different that you didn't do was this policy, this policy, this policy. And those ended up working out in our favor. But yeah, partially he's right. There were the policies that he did right, we were going to duplicate. And the ones we added, here's what we did. Okay, hey, but I've made this, I've done this, and you don't know what it is to do this. You're right. I've never ran a multi-billion-dollar business. But the benefit I have is I have proof to show that I was the governor of the state that got the most criticism over any other state in America. And I was the governor of the state that stood behind parents, stood behind moms, stood behind homeschoolers, stood behind people that wanted a choice, stood behind those guys. And we showed that the right formula of how to react under the pandemic, the one that led everybody else was the state of Florida. I get credit for that as the governor of that state. And that's given me the credibility and the moral authority to now run for office to be America's president. So that's the second one. Then he's going to come back. What DeSantis is not going to do, because DeSantis is, as much as he is a very much of a counter, what do you call it? Counterpuncher. He also knows where not to go. He's not going to go family. He's not going to go kids. They're going to try to get DeSantis to talk about, how do you feel about the fact that the president's been married 3 times? He's not going to say nothing. They're going to try, what do you think about the, link to this and link to that? He's not going to fall for it.
How about the January Pat? What if they bring up, like, how he respond? How
he's going to defend Trump.
Defend Trump on the. Okay, guys.
He's going to defend Trump.
Got you.
He's going to defend Trump. He is going to defend Trump until it comes down to him showing that I am my own man.
Got you.
That's what's going to happen because DeSantis is not a Trump mentored guy. It's an endorsed. Those are two different things. A mentored requires loyalty. An endorsed is just thank you, man. I'm grateful. I appreciate you. Do you understand what I'm saying? The difference?
Yeah.
There's mentored, there's endorsed. Mentored requires loyalty. Endorsed only requires respect and thanks.
Wow.
Gratitude. So DeSantis is not a dummy. He's going to be solid, and Trump's going to play Trump. And I think there's no way in the world Trump's all of a sudden going to turn into saying this new guy that's not going to go and do anything with him. No, the only thing that could happen is if the conversations lead to something happening with the court that it's going to be very, 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 very ugly, then DeSantis has a card.
Yeah, and
you know what card that is?
What
card is that?
If they go after Trump,
I don't think you caught what I just said.
Well, you got to say it again.
Let me say it one more time.
Stuff.
It's impeachment. Who gives a shit about impeachment? If they go after him court-wise,
Trump.
Yes.
You're unelectable.
Not unelectable.
The classified document stuff. That's
none of that. If the stuff is like, because listen, here's what's going on with America, man. All this shit that you're finding about Elon Musk, they're targeting him. If you try to target anybody and use billions of dollars of government resources and lawyers, you're going to find something on everybody. Good luck. Hey, America, we learned something today. All of you guys got some shit in your closet that you're dealing with financially. They can find it, okay? If they want to target you, they can target you. They can target Musk. They can target everybody, okay? So Trump is the second most hated man in America today, the most hated president living, alive today. He's number one. And if they go after him, they're going to find a lot of things. He's got 50 years of history, taxes, records, a bunch of different things, deals. He's going to need the P word. He's going to need the P word when somebody becomes a president.
Protection?
No.
Yeah, I got a different
Pardon.
P word in
Pardon.
my. Okay, go.
Pardon. Wow.
Yeah. If it goes that route, and it's just going to be like, my first position, 1, I'm pardoning this. 2, let's get to business and do what America needs to be done, okay? No one's perfect. Here's a pardon. Let's move on. Then he gets the support. Then Trump can go golf and spend the rest of the time with his family and all that other stuff. Again, remember what I said. Don't put words in my mouth. I said if the government keeps investigating and trying to find shit constantly over and over and over again to make his life a living hell, where for the rest of his life he has to deal with tax, IRS, bullshit, he's eventually going to be like, listen, man, just give me this. I'm going to go play golf. I'm going to go hang out. Leave me alone. Let me spend time with my kid.
And I think this is going to hurt the Republican Party because think about Pat. You have these two alphas that are going to be at some point they're going to lock horns, right?
I do think DeSantis could be a synergist.
You think so?
I do think DeSantis could be synergist.
Huge.
But
So do you think has a higher likelihood of getting to this magic number I keep talking about, 60% approval rating? Trump or DeSantis?
DeSantis
Is it even a question?
No, not at all. But what I'm saying is,
I don't solve for that though.
But
Listen, I don't
That's
solve.
an indicator.
Let me tell you something. You know, this guy, like, what does Trump truly believe in?
Trump.
No, 100%. And by the way,
Capitalism
by
and
the way,
America.
I'm not even being a jerk.
by the way, by the
believes
way,
in Trump.
by the way, just so you know, you wish you believed in yourself as much as Trump believes in himself.
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah.
So don't ever judge a person that believes in themselves as much as this guy believes in themselves. Okay? For a guy to have the world after him and he goes and golfs with pressure and people making fun of him when he golfs and he said, did you see that drive? Did you see how good it was? Did you get that? Are you going to show that? Are you going to show how good of a shot that was even with you talking shit to me? Yeah, there isn't anybody in America today that can handle the kind of pressure and hate and mockery as that guy. Leaders Bulletin, he's first on that list.
I'm with
period.
you on that, if I may. There's a difference between pride and hubris. You familiar? Remember we learned all that in Greek mythology,
Yeah.
and I think Trump is veering towards more hubris than pride. You're 100% right. We all wish we had the self confidence that
This
Trump
guy
has,
may-
but it veers towards hubris at a
This
lot of
guy
times.
may have lived a life that many, like, if you want to think about a Great Gatsby type of a movie to see who's lived a crazy life, I don't know, bro. Who's lived a crazier life than better life than
Nobody's
this guy?
denying that. You're absolutely right.
So,
No,
so
you're
all,
absolutely
all
right.
I'm saying to you is, if I want to have somebody go up against killers,
Yeah.
dirty, ugly, like legit people like that, I'm sending him.
Let me ask you one more thing.
I'm
then.
sending
Trump.
I'm sending him.
Let
If I want somebody that's if I'm the other day, I saw a clip by Obama. Obama's like, they say Barack, he cannot handle Putin, and he is afraid of Putin, and they say things like this about me. Well, I mean, if you're talking about you're going to handle Putin better than I will, my opponent, the person that's saying all this stuff about me, he can't even know how to handle CNBC moderators. And then you hear the crowds,
Yeah.
and then they show the clip the first time Trump meets Putin, and he pulls Putin in.
Yank them.
And then you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
that guy's a former KGB.
Oh.
And alpha is alpha. That was felt within a second.
Mm-hmm.
There is no question there. So the point is, if you want somebody to go in places like that, to handle people like that, it's the other guy that's the most hated president alive today. But DeSantis is going to be the one that's going to do similar job with fewer controversy, added baggage, all the other stuff that comes with it, and a smaller target because, quite frankly, he's not the personality that Trump is. He's not the entertainer that Trump is. He's not the character that Trump is. But he will make a very good president.
Yeah.
I think DeSantis will make a very, very good president.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.